Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, thank you. Logistics, first of all. There's some people standing in the back, so could you raise your hand if you have a seat next to you that's available? Yep. Okay, there's a few people in the back. If you want to see where people are. I'm kidding. Hey, it's 9 a.m. You got to start it some way, right? Awesome. My name is Errol Shanefish. How many of you saw one of my 2 theater sessions this past week? All right. Hey, not that many, which is sort of good. Sort of bad that you saw my theater session and didn't come, but so my standard joke is I'm the only Errol Shanefish in the world. So it's really easy to find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever. So if you do want to follow me at If Errol Can Do It, and there's a story behind that, which is, so I'm in the product marketing team of Dynamics 365 Business Central, and I work with the engineering team. And this started about 3-4 years ago, where we're in a meeting, and I'm telling them, hey, I don't know if I can demo that from stage, what you're doing. That seems really complex. And so like their bar for everything that they do is, could Errol do this? And if so, then you can do it. It's like, if Errol can do it, anybody can do it. And so for today's session, what I'm going to do is first just do a level set on what Business Central is. And then I'm going to do sort of a canned demonstration of Business Central. And then we're going to get into the guts of it. And I'm going to show you, so kind of a cooking show, right? I'm going to pull the already made pot roast out of the oven. And then we're going to go into, okay, how do you actually make that pot roast? Is that a worldwide analogy? I don't know for sure if that is or not. So what is Business Central? Business Central is an all-in-one business management solution that covers a wide aspect of managing your business, inclusive of all the way from just sort of core financial management stuff, all the way to even manufacturing and service management. All of those capabilities are in the solution. If you're familiar with a product from Microsoft called Microsoft Dynamics NAV, Business Central is the multi-tenanted 100% cloud version on Azure of Dynamics NAV. So it has the beauty of sort of 30 plus years of functionality in a 100% cloud delivered solution with all the advantages that a cloud delivered solution has. At the same time, what we've done is really tried to bring together sort of the unstructured data of productivity tools like Office, Outlook, et cetera, and really merge them and infuse them into the structured information of an accounting, financial management, ERP solution. So that's what we've done with Business Central. And today we're going to talk about sort of even further, how do you extend that with kind of specifically the Power Platform set of tools. So I'm going to show you some things around Power BI, Power Apps, and Flow. And as a result of both the cloud-delivered version of Business Central and these additional tools on top of it, it really allows you to create a solution that's very specific to you. So this entire solution is very adaptable, and it's unified, again, sort of infused with the productivity tools that all of your employees are used to. For instance, how do you create a form in Business Central? It's using this product called Word. Have you heard of that one? Yeah, pretty much. Accounting people love to be in this little-known product from Microsoft called Excel, and we let you do that. You can do journal entries in Excel and update Business Central. And so Hopefully what you'll see from sort of the demo and then kind of getting deeper into the solution is how we've really delivered on that with Business Central. So let's start with a demo. All right. So for those of you that were at my one of my theater sessions, this is going to be a little bit duplicate, but I'm going to explain more than I would normally explain when doing a demonstration of Business Central. So how many of you started your day this morning in Outlook, either on your phone or on your computer? Yep, pretty much every single one of you. So imagine a business owner, manager, whatever the situation may be, they start their day in Outlook also. And what Business Central does, again, it's infused in the Microsoft set of tools. And so what we do is we have an Outlook add-in that allows you to expose Business Central directly inside of Outlook in the context, understanding the context of emails, who you're getting the email from, what's on the email, and then delivering an intelligent solution as a result of that. And so it understands the email, who this email is coming from. It understands that it's a customer, and then it surfaces information about that customer right here in Outlook. So if you can imagine what you would normally do if you got in this case, this is a request for a quote. If you got a request for a quote in an email from a customer/prospect, normally you would do what? And don't say, go to a Word document and type in some stuff. You might go to some other solution, log in, authenticate, look up the customer, and then potentially start your process. Instead, again, the solution is infused right here in Outlook. And not only can I see all the information about posted transactions, sales invoices, etc., but I can also take action. And since it knows this is a customer, it also knows what makes sense for the actions. So it only surfaces things like sales quote, invoice, order, etc. At the same time, it takes a look at the body of the email and it says, hey, I understand these 2 items that are in your inventory. Do you want to add them to the sales quote? So it looks at the body of the email, it understood those inventory items and the quantities, and with a few simple clicks now, I can create that sales quote and then easily send that off to my prospect/customer in an email. It attaches a PDF, sends it off, boom, I'm done. Another situation that I'm going to show you is what I love to call ad hoc workflow, which is you get an email from someone inside of the organization, and they're requesting for me, perhaps I'm a sales manager or even a business owner, to add and approve a 7% discount. Now, this is very ad hoc, which I'm sure happens in all of your businesses. And in this situation, the Business Central add-in understood the sales quote number. So if you look way down at the bottom, zoom in on that, it understood in the email body sales quote S dash whatever, and then surfaced that sales quote again right here in Outlook, so that I can go look at the information on the sales quote, add the 7% discount, and update the solution and send it on to that person internally. The solution also understands if you're not a customer, oddly enough. And so in this situation, I got an email from someone. They said, hey, I'm a new contact at an existing customer, looking forward to doing business with you. And so I can take that and easily add them as a contact within that customer, again, directly from within Outlook. So that was all dealing with customers. It also understands sort of the payables side of things. So in this case, this is an invoice from a vendor of mine, and it understands that email again, so it pulls up the information about this specific vendor, and similarly, I can see all things that I've purchased from this vendor in historical. I can see if there's any outstanding quotes from this vendor or orders from this vendor, all of that information. And now when I go to actually act on it, again, since it knows it's a vendor, it only shows me the things that are applicable to working with a vendor right here in Outlook. One of the other features that I love is this pop-out window. So you may have said, hey, that window's kind of small, but I can actually pop this out and then show even more details about that particular vendor. There's also workflow capabilities combined with Microsoft Flow, and I'm going to pause here because I'm going to show kind of what that looks like later on. But what I do also want to show is the phone client. I'm just going to show that quickly. So the Business Central phone client is, you can do almost anything in the phone or tablet client as you can in the entirety of the solution. You have access to pretty much everything that you would normally have access to in your solution. And what you'll notice when I get into the actual sort of full-blown client is that this looks exactly like the full client. So instead of sort of giving you little bits of maybe line of business things that you can do with a mobile app, we just give you the whole thing because we think people are doing more and more obviously on their mobile devices, and so we want to make sure that that's available to them. So I can go into my sales quotes, for instance, if I got a phone call from that same prospect that was requesting, perhaps they called me after getting the quote that we just created, and they want a discount. Of course, everybody wants a discount. And so I can actually do that here on my mobile device very easily. At the same time, again, it gives me sort of all of the information available. So I have access to all the reporting capabilities. I have access to any embedded Power BI that you have in the solution from my mobile device. And really just, I can do, again, anything that I can in my regular device. It occurred to me, though, as I was thinking about this item, I was selling some London swivel chairs. So I'm going to look at the London swivel chair, and what Business Central does is allows you to use Azure Analytics to take a look at what you've historically sold, what's on order, and all of that information, and it basically gives you an inventory forecast based off of that information. So we've sort of out of the box hooked into an Azure service to do this, and I can see if I do nothing with this particular item that it's going to go negative quantities, and so that's going to be a problem. So perhaps on mobile device isn't the greatest place to sort of act on this, but I could potentially sort of share this with someone else and or come back to this as something to do in the regular client. So let's go take a look at the regular client. I should say also, if you have any questions, just don't wait for the end. We're friends here, right? We're all so close together that, we should be friends. So this is Dynamics 365 Business Central, sort of the big client. I don't know what to call it. It's a web client. It's obviously a cloud-based solution. And this is where, sort of your accounting people are heads down into the solution. So I just want to note a few things. First of all, As you can see, it looks sort of exactly like the phone, except a different form factor. And it also has embedded Power BI in multiple places, both on the home screen, customer lists, vendor lists, item lists. Sorry, I just timed out there for a second. But what I'm going to do is actually take a look at some pending tasks that I had. So the first one is inventory forecast that we just talked about. So I'm going to take action now on looking and seeing that the London swivel chair, that there was something that I probably had to take care of with the London swivel chair, and that is this forecast. Now again, it gives me this information. That's really interesting. But what's even more interesting is if I create a purchase order directly on this, it's going to suggest the right inventory quantity for me to maximize. And it's also going to say, hey, you have some other items that you normally purchase from this same vendor that also look like they need to be have quantity fulfillments done also, according to the information that's in the system. And so you can easily add these to this purchase order. And now you can see that it's not only added the London swivel chair, but it's added a number of these other items also to the same purchase order. Again, an intelligent solution. All right. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to talk about the sort of the unified aspect of this. So kind of how does this all get working and put together? And so we're going to, first off, I'm going to show you kind of how you do the Outlook add-in to get that started. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of more things that you can do with that Outlook add-in and actually the broader Outlook solution. Then we're going to take a look at how you can work with Excel with Business Central information. And then we're going to do Power BI, so how do you connect to Power BI and get that started. And then we're going to end with Power Apps and Flow. So, wow, are you ready for this? Because I'm not. I mean, I have a lot of stuff going on here. So I just showed you the Outlook add-in. This works in either the desktop or the web client of Outlook, either one. And it's a really simple process to deploy this. You basically go into, and I'll show you this, but you go into Business Central and you say deploy the add-in, and that's about it. So it's incredibly easy. Hashtag if Errol can do it. It certainly is quite easy to do, and I've done it hundreds of times. So here's some of those things that I showed and what you can do with the Outlook add-in. So you can look at customers, vendors, contacts, and the quick links to documents was that sales quote thing that I demoed. There's a few other things you can do with overall Outlook also. And so in the calendar, you can also look up customers in the calendar. You can send documents, and you can enter time for jobs. So there's job functions that's in Business Central, and you can enter time for those jobs in your calendar. So it's basically well, actually, I'll sort of show it in a little bit right now. So the jobs in Outlook, so once you have a job created and those resources set up, you can add that to someone's calendar. So basically, you create your job lines, and then you send it to somebody's calendar, and then when they are in their calendar and they've completed that, they can report those hours back to the job. So they do it in calendar. Usually the sort of the job manager is the one that sort of sets up the jobs and then assigns resources and then sends those out to the calendar. And so sort of in Outlook then, what it looks like is, so if I'm the person that's doing the job, this is what I do. I go to my calendar, I can pull up the tasks that I've completed, the hours, et cetera, and then it posts that back to Business Posts. It updates Business Central with that information. As I mentioned, the Outlook add-in is really easy to do inside of Business Central. You basically go through kind of one step, and then it adds that. You can also remove it from inside of Outlook, and so it can be managed that way. And you can also manage it through inside of Business Central through the add-in deployment window of Business Central. I actually didn't talk about this, but you have the capability to do sync your Exchange contacts with Business Central also. And so if, where you sort of traditionally keep track of your business contacts is in Exchange, you can sync that to Business Central so that all of those contacts are set up inside of Business Central automatically, and the information, address, phone number, et cetera, all of that information can be synced across those two also. So lots of different areas where it's infused into Business Central. And then by way of administration for those administrators, this is, again, this is our web client that this works with, and then the authentication is through Azure Active Directory. Yep. Yeah, so the question was, does it use the Common Data Service to synchronize data? And the answer is yes and no. Yes, we have out of the box. So we've exposed a set of sales entities that allow you to easily integrate with Dynamics 365 for sales. We haven't exposed all of our entities yet to the Common Data Service. But the way that we do our integration, I hate to say that word, integration to Dynamics 365 for sales is through the Common Data Service. That's a whole session in itself, by the way, Common Data Service, but yeah. It's the way that we sync with Dynamics 365 for sales is native. Yep. You just basically, there's one setup in Business Central, you point to that, and then you do the sync. And there is, well, actually, maybe I'll show you later. There's a really good spot on our website that describes that whole process and what syncs.
Yeah, I grew up earlier in the day where they're developing the connector basically to all the ERP apps, so that's probably squashed.
Yep, Common Data Service is how we'll be doing that definitely in the future. So a lot of customers / partners have asked, can you do more with the Outlook add-in than just what Microsoft has out of the box? And the answer is yes. So I provided this link. This is a really good article that sort of talks about how you can extend that Outlook add-in to potentially do even more. So maybe you want different forms that show up as a result of information that's in Outlook. But this is a really good starting point for sort of that. If you have an idea on something that you want to do additionally, this is a really good place to go for that. All right, I got to get to where I need to want to go. I'm going to do something really, really dangerous here. And that is, I am going to set up a trial of Business Central right in front of you. Are you guys ready for this? This is going to be fun. So if you're, again, sort of unfamiliar with Business Central, you can set up a trial right now. And the trial lasts sort of to infinity. And so I know a lot of people say, well, I only get 30 days to play around with it. We actually keep our trials out there as long as you're in the lesson learning sample company. You can play with it for a long time. And so if you just go to Microsoft's site and find Business Central, there's this start free here. And then it's just going to ask me about my email. And this is an email that I set up yesterday. It has to be a business email, so it can't be like a Hotmail account or whatever. That's not my actual phone number, so don't bother trying to call that. And basically, it knows that we have an AAD, which again is how it does authentication, and it's going to create a Business Central tenant for me. And in less than a minute, this is probably the most exciting demonstration you've ever seen in your life, isn't it? It's like, back in the day, 28 years ago when I worked as a consultant, part of my day was just putting a disk in, waiting until it load, taking the disk out, putting the next disk in, waiting until it load, take it out. That was like the value-added aspect that I did as a partner, right? I should have set up some music or something. Let me see, dad jokes. What did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt. Ba-dum-bum. Like I said, this was shot in the dark. But if you think about it, this is quite amazing. I mean, all I've done so far is given an email address, and in less than what seems like infinity, I'm going to have a Business Central tenant launched and ready to go. There you go, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's probably surfaced through Azure Analytics or something that does that. That probably was a minute, but it just seemed like forever. There you go. Hey, that wasn't so bad, was it? So when you get the first install of Business Central, we do have a set of videos and sort of descriptions of what's going on. But I'm going to get to the meat of this, which we were talking about the Outlook add-in. So again, this is Business Central. I just created it. This is a brand new tenant. First time anything has been done. So what I'm going to do is go do this add-in so that you can see what that looks like. So I am going to set up my business inbox in Outlook. Hashtag if Errol can do it. And I'm going to have it send me an email and finish. Okay, could you guys do that? Is that something you think you could do, what I just did? Yeah? Yeah, that seems doable. So let me go to my email. And I get this email from us. And it sort of describes what it is that you can do, and it gives that same sort of information. So here's the Outlook add-in exposed. Again, I'm in the web client now. It's either the Business Central icon here or Business Central, and you do have to authenticate just once, and then it remembers it from then on. So there you go. So we just spun up a new tenant. We did the Outlook add-in, went to mail, and there it is. Boom. You can do that. Because I just did, and I'm glad that worked. Really, I'm super glad that worked. Okay, the next one is area that we're going to talk about is Excel. Actually, before I did want to show you just one other thing. And I got this from a customer, sort of how they use the Outlook add-in. And what's kind of cool is that it basically, since it's surfaced everywhere, since it's sort of everywhere in Outlook, what they use it for is, like if you get a query from somebody that's a customer, vendor, et cetera, all you have to do is sort of create a new email like that, just put in their email address, and then you can pull up, oh my. Oh, that's the wrong Megan. Never mind. Whew. That's funny. Hopefully that won't, nobody caught that because that was a personal email of somebody, the wrong Megan. Here we go. So again, all you have to do is sort of in Outlook, if you want to look up some information about a customer, again, instead of sort of going somewhere else, getting authenticated, blah, 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 I can just put in their email address and then I have access to that information. So that's kind of cool. And let's discard that. Okay, let's get back to our presentation. So the next part we're going to talk about is Excel. I think there's like 40-some list page areas in Excel where you can edit information via Excel. Again, it's one thing to just sort of send information to Excel and then create some nice little report, but the moment that you do that, it's not up to date. And so what we're doing is actually editing the information in Excel and publishing it back to Business Central, and there's a connection there. So anytime that you pull up that connection, you have the latest information. And so what's required for that is, first of all, this, again, it's only available on our web client, which Business Central is only a web client. And it does require, again, AAD authentication. And I know some of you are saying, well, I don't want people to sort of edit everything in Excel. That doesn't make any sense. Posted transactions, et cetera. And of course, that's not the case. These are things that are non-audit trail types of things. So you can't just edit a posted transaction in Excel. That wouldn't make any sense. Basically, anything that you can edit in a form in Business Central, you can then edit in Excel. But you can create new documents. So for instance, a lot of our customers create journal entries in Excel and then publish them to Business Central because I should say I don't even know why but ask your accounting people, would they rather do something in Excel or actually in the application? They would probably choose Excel because they just love Excel. So hey, why fight it? Let's actually do it. So let's switch over here and go here. So I mentioned basically every list page in the solution you can do edit in Excel, and it's pretty simple. You're on the list page, you just choose edit in Excel, and then I actually already did this once. So then what comes up is this is a customer list. So an example that I like to give is let's say that you're going to change salesperson regions or something like that. So instead of kind of going into each individual customer and changing it, you just send it to Excel and you can change it all here. So I know that a valid other salesperson code is PS. So let's copy, paste, and then I'm going to do something a little bit different, which the last one I'm going to do is ES. And you saw some of those were blank, and that's because they were new customers that I hadn't assigned a salesperson code to yet. So that's another situation. Maybe you want to go in, filter on blank, and then see which customers are blank and assign, in this case, salesperson's code. Salesperson code. So again, that was easy. I just typed in that information, click the publish button, and we cross our fingers in the demo god world, pray to the demo gods, and okay, it came back with an error, but I knew it was going to come back with an error, and the reason is because ES is not a valid existing salesperson code. And so I can correct that, change it to PS, publish that, and we're good to go. So back in the solution then, if I pull up one of these customers, or not. Did I go in too soon? There you go. Wow, did you guys see that? That was literally real time, wasn't it? The first time I came in, it hadn't quite updated yet. Whew, that's crazy. So I was going to say I'll do it over again just so you can see that there's nothing up my sleeve, but you saw it right there. So again, there's multiple places that you can do that in the solution, like 40-some list pages that we have, journal entry numbers, or excuse me, journal entries, etc. So lots of places where you can use the edit in Excel capabilities. Say that again.
You have an option set for your salesperson on the web form. So you have the ellipsis to the right.
Yep.
Would bring up what's called an option set. You can also, if you're exporting that
in Excel,
you can also have that as an option set so that you're not putting an invalid value.
That is an awesome idea. Yeah. We'll just go steal their code. We do it all the time. That's a great idea. Thank you. All right, our next area is Power BI. So with Power BI, we have sort of multiple places where Power BI is surfaced in Business Central. And we provide an out-of-the-box set of content packs that you can use to start with and then modify from. If you're connecting to just Business Central, it's free with Business Central. If you're connecting to data outside of Business Central, then you will need to license Power BI for that. And we're sort of finding that a lot of people sort of have already licensed Power BI in one way, shape, or form, so it kind of doesn't really matter. But you can embed it in different places in Excel, or excuse me, in Business Central, and it's also really easy to sort of connect and set up. Now, I'm going to show you how to connect and set up in a little bit. But again, I would suggest sort of starting with our sample reports and dashboards, and then you can customize from there. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And I sort of feel like I shouldn't show you this. And the reason I feel like I shouldn't show you this is because it's changing with the next release. And I don't have the pre-release code. But you'll see how easy it is now, and then I'll actually kind of show you, talk about how much easier it's going to be in the future. So this, again, was this tenant that we just set up. And so there are a number of different places in the solution where we expose and have embedded Power BI. And so I'm on the customer list page again. And so what I'm going to do is go get the content pack. And when you do it this way, it's kind of nice. It sort of pre-filters for you the Business Central ones. And the one I want is for customer list. Again, this is hashtag if Errol can do it, right? So you do have to say the company, and this is one of the things now that we're going to streamline, which is we kind of make you click too many times and authenticate who you are. And this is all going to be, it's basically just point to your Power BI area once, and it will work. That's the way it's going to be in the future. So this is what, I think I grabbed the wrong one. We'll find out in a second. So let's go back to my Power BI, and you do have to refresh this. Oh no, I chose the right one. So that was that. Now I have embedded Power BI. And what you'll notice is, like if I change this setting here, like as I go from customer to customer on my list, how it refreshes the Power BI that's specific to that particular customer. So this is available, this list idea is available for vendors, items, customers. And then just in the overall home page, that's where a lot of our customers, they'll sort of do their own types of reporting. And so similarly, like I have to go now select again. And actually I'm going to, normally I would go choose a different report to be exposed here on the home page. Okay, so you'll have to get my actual presentation to get to this information, but I added some links of areas where you can learn more about Power BI specifically for Business Central, and then how to create those. And these are just some good areas where you can go to get some additional information on Power BI for Business Central. So the links are in the presentation itself. You could take a picture of this, but it won't do much unless you have some really amazing phone. Now there's an idea. Like, you could see the links of just the wording that would be something, I think. All right, the next thing we're going to do is Power Apps and Flow. I'm going to do Flow first. So let's get on to this one. I think I'll do Flow first. So there is, you can obviously, we have a set of Flow templates that you can use to extend the workflow capabilities of Business Central. And you can start with those and add to them and or create your own from scratch and simply connect to Business Central to do that. So what I'm going to do in the demo is show you, this one is going to be a little bit of a cooking show, which is I'm going to show you the templates, how you do a template, just see what types of templates we have, show you that, and then I'm going to show you some additional things that I added to the template, and then we'll take a look at how that works. I got to think about which tenant I want to be on. I want to be on this one. Okay, so in Flow, I have, there's a spot here, Create From Template. So obviously when you do that, you can just type in Business Central. And then these are all of the out-of-the-box templates that we've created of flows. So there's some interesting ones in here, low stock warning. And you can see where it's sort of integrated with other areas. So Outlook, Business Central, etc. So the one that I'm going to show you, I started with the Business Central customer flow. So that would be sort of, I'm adding a customer, and what do you want to do when you add a customer? What kind of workflow do you want as a result of that? So in my team flows, I created this one. Sorry, I used the template and then did that. So this particular flow is if the credit limit is greater than 5,000. The credit limit is greater than 5,000. The first thing I want to do is actually sort of block the customer so that you can't do anything with it. For this company, it's just a basic approval process, which means the condition is I'm going to, if it gets approved, I'm going to send an email to the originator. I'm going to post a message in Microsoft Teams that says I approved it. And I'm going to update the customer that their reminder term codes is set to high. So that's what this flow does. I'm adding a customer. The credit limit is greater than $5,000. It goes to someone for approval. If I approve it, I send an email to the sender. I post a message in Microsoft Teams, and I set a flag in Business Central setting the reminder terms code to high. Make sense? So the parts that I added was the team part, and then setting that field in Business Central, the reminder terms code. Otherwise, the rest of this was kind of set up for me. I just had to put in the company and I think one email address or something like that. All right, so I am now, who am I? That's the wrong one. Glad I looked at that. I am Emily Braun. I'm Emily Braun. I'm going to create a new customer. Did you get that, Craig? Crescus Enterprises is my new customer. And I need to put your credit limit at a whopping $10,000 in cash. And then I'm going to send approval request. And the demo gods then start to pray. Okay, I'm back as the, actually I can do this here. So I got the approval. Yeah, first step worked. So I'm now the approval person, Stan the owner. And we probably could have done, you know, some additional things in here that would allow me to kind of link back to Business Central. That would have been easy to do, actually, in the email. We could have done that so I could have seen the customer card. So I'm going to say, yes, Craig is a great guy. Prove that. And go back to Emily. So this one is just notifying me that it got sent, that particular email, and that it's pending. Again, this is where we pray to the demo gods. Actually, while I'm waiting for that, oh, I do have Teams open. Looks like I need to relaunch that. I don't know if I can make that go any faster. That's actually a purchase order approval from my system also. So just FYI, I have a couple of approvals in here. So again, this was my customer approval flow, and I have one for large purchase order quantities. Same thing, I just use the template and then set the criteria on what purchase order quantities would go for approval. And so in my Emily Braun one, that's what this was. Well, here's what should happen. Yep. To see the status. Oh, the Outlook? I didn't? Oh, I didn't do submit, did I? That's kind of, yeah, I agree. That's sort of weird though how it, like I typed in the text and did approve and it sort of collapsed everything and I couldn't submit, but thank you. We would have been here for a long time probably. Let's see. Oh, I just got something. There it is. Stan, the owner, has approved this for Crescas Enterprises, and now in my team site, there it is. Stan, the owner, approved. And in my actual Business Central application, let's see, I think it's actually in the Payments tab. Was it on Invoicing tab? Show more? Oh, didn't do that. Well, I'll have to go take a look at that. Yeah, what it should have done is put hi in the reminder terms code, which it did with my test company one when I did that. Yeah, see that one? That one worked, of course, last night. That's the way okay, one tiny little demo god thing. All right, so that's Flow. For Power BI, or excuse me, for Power Apps, it's a pretty basic process to physically connect to Business Central and to start building apps. So you just connect to a data source, and that data source is Business Central. So we're in the list of data sources for Power Apps. And then you start to do your layout. So when you connect, you choose the area that you're connecting to, a customer card, vendor, or item card, something like that. And then you can start working on the layout of it. And of course, really the world is your oyster. I've seen, what we've sort of noticed with Power Apps anyway is that what partners and customers are doing is doing a very specific kind of thing that they're only exposing to a small set of people within the business. It's not like this big, broad application that they're building, but it's something really kind of quick, specific. I want them to see inventory items and do X, Y, Z. It's like, do this, this, or this, and that's it. As opposed to, and then most often it's on a mobile device that they're doing that. And the reason is because although we have the mobile app, certainly, it's almost in a way it can be sort of too much. And so they build something, again, sort of really specific that the employee can do sort of one of three things, and that's what they use it for. So the Power Apps looks like this. So I did a little bit of a cooking show one here also, but if you do create an app in Power Apps, this is where you would connect to Business Central. So obviously I have a connection already pre-built, but you would choose Business Central from your list of connections. So if you didn't have Business Central to begin with, you would just do New Connection and then choose it. Actually, must have did something wrong there. What is that doing? There we go. That's not going to work either. I'm going to get an error message, I think. Oh. I'm not doing a new connection, though. Yeah, which is what I'm trying to do. It's it should. No. Oh, there you go. Thank you. There it is. I have a connection already. And I'm going to go to this company. And then here's all the tables that you can start with. So for instance, if you want to start with customer card and do your Power App off of the customer card, you can do that. And then what it will do is sort of start with a basic form for you, and then you can modify the form from there. So here's just a list of your customers, and I think we do a detail screen also that has information about the customers, and you can modify from here. I'm just going to quickly show you. So there is a cooking show. I did one for inventory that allows you to look up inventory quantities and also looks at Dynamics 365 for sales to see what opportunities are in the pipeline also. So it's a basic form. It has sort of your list of items, and then the item detail, and the forecast demand is coming from Dynamics 365 for sales, and your current inventory is obviously coming from Business Central. And then you could do this and create a purchase order off of it. So it basically looks like this. So here's my items. I want to go to the Athens desk. Here's the information about that. And then if I click create purchase order, it would do that. And actually, underneath this is also a flow. So the flow would start for an approval process on this purchase order, which again is kind of the really nice thing about both apps and flow combined is the ability to have them do certain things as an entire package. I've also seen some customers that have used Flow with Power BI. And so as sort of pulling up information in Power BI, and as a result of that information, starting a flow process. So lots of different ways to use it. Again, sort of the world is your oyster for something like that. All right, next steps. Oops, I went through that. If you would like, I would suggest going and signing up for a trial. And that online documentation, oh, my guy over here left. I was that boring. The online documentation is really good. I mean, it lists basically everything that Dynamics 365 Business Central can do. And he had a question about sort of the integration to Dynamics 365 for sales. And there's details in there about how you set that up, the entities that it syncs with, et cetera, et cetera. So if there's sort of one thing that you take from this entire session, I would say look at that online documentation for kind of the core Business Central functionality and what it can do. And then for sure, like I said, the trials that we have are in perpetuity for the most part, and they get updated with latest versions also. So feel free to sign up for a trial, play around, stay in the learning company, and you can do really anything in there that you want to, and the trial does not go away. If you wanted to have a trial where you sort of put in your own information, that is a 30-day trial. You can do that a couple of different ways. One is you can create a sample company in this trial that I mentioned, and then bring your own data in and start to play with it. Again, that one's good for 30 days. Or you can work with your partner to create what's called a CSP trial. And in that situation, you can import your data and then turn that CSP trial into actual running licenses of Business Central. So there's a couple of different ways to go there. I would appreciate, hey, I think pretty much everything worked today, so I think you need to give me a 5 just because, I mean, I had 3 browsers going, 3 different users. We created a tenant from scratch, come on, and started to set up that tenant. We did the If Errol Can Do It Outlook add-in. I didn't show you the Excel add-in, but basically the first time that you launch Excel from the edit in Excel, it'll just automatically add that Excel add-in. So that's like easier than If Errol Can Do It. It just does it automatically. And so please do evaluate the session. I got 5 minutes. If anybody has any additional questions, I'd certainly entertain taking those questions. And for sure, thank you so much for attending. Sorry it was a little cramped in here, but you know, that's the way it goes. Any questions? Yeah, we don't have HR functionality in Business Central. What we do have is entities for employee. And so a lot of people link into Business Central with an outside HR solution. And as a result, there is the employee entities because we use those for jobs, salesperson, et cetera, et cetera. Yep. Actually, probably one of our most requested integrations is with Microsoft 365 for Talent, Dynamics 365 for Talent, and that is on the roadmap to have. And again, that would be through CDS, so we would have an out-of-the-box integration in the future, but I can't really give you a time frame on that. Any other questions? Yep. So we have timesheets in the solution. Yep, in our, and that is, so we have different types of users. We would consider that what's called a limited user. If that's all they're doing is timesheet entry, then just as an FYI, the price is $8 per user per month. I think for just the limited user timesheet entry, I want to query a few things if that's all they're doing. But yeah, that's in the solution and obviously integrates to the project job capabilities. And there's also some outside ISVs that have built, sort of extended our job capabilities even further for like construction industry and stuff like that. All right, well, I'll be around just sort of turning all of my browsers off and everything. So thanks for coming again and have a great rest of your time. We do have a booth in the Dynamics 365 section. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to stop by the booth. Thanks.